in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 3, and Paul writes, I was with you in fear and weakness and much trembling. And I'm thinking to myself, now that doesn't fit the Apostle Paul. I mean, this is a dominant driver, type A personality. I mean, he's ready to take on anything. This is the guy, the boat goes down and he gets back on a boat. I'm thinking, man, if I'm on a boat and it sinks, I ain't get back on a boat again. But the Apostle Paul, he gets back on the boat again 3 times. And he keeps getting back on boats, and he's whipped, 5 times and with whips and 3 times the rods. And the list goes on. And I'm like, so it doesn't seem to fit that he would be in fear. And yet when you go back, and I'm asking the Lord one day, and actually it was, I can almost tell you, I can tell you the weekend. It was the weekend of September the 2nd, and I'm of last year. And I was sitting in my house, and one of my best friends is sitting across from me. It's about 6:30 in the morning. Jason Gallion, he's vice president of IBC, very, very close friend. And I'm sitting there. I said, Jason, look at this. This verse doesn't even fit. I said, Paul was talking about that it's the power of God. It's not with men's wisdom and man. It's the power of God and demonstration of the Spirit. And I said, then he says that he's in fear and weakness and trembling. I said, what's up with that? And all of a sudden, the Lord speaks to me, says, read Acts 16. And I go back and I start reading 16 and 17. I start reading 18. And by the time I got to 18, I can be a crybaby sometimes when God gets to moving. And I'm sitting there and God is moving, and I just had tears running. I'm like, dear Lord. And because I saw myself in my own little world, that Paul goes in and he goes to Philippi and he gets beaten. He has a vision, but the vision and reality are not matching up. The vision is a man, come over and help us. When he gets there, there's no man. It's Lydia, a young damsel with the spirit of divination. And then there is finally a man, but he's not asking for help. He's putting Paul in bonds. And yet those are the founding members of the church of Philippi. But then he moves on and he goes to Thessalonica, gets ran out of town less than 4 weeks. He moves on to Berea. Thessalonican Jews come, they run him out of Berea, entice him up. He goes on to Athens, has very little success. And then he shows up in Corinth, and Corinth is this moral cesspool. And all of a sudden I saw it. Man, if that's been my track record, look what I'm getting ready to go through right now. But I don't have quit in me. I've got resilience. I keep showing up. Mm-hmm. I'm faithful. And yet, I'm a little fearful too. And so I'm looking at that. I'm going like, this is my life. This is my life. And I'm sitting there, and Jason's sitting across from me. It's early in the morning. And the Lord spoke to me and said, keep on reading. And I went back to reading, and I read chapter 18, I believe it was verse 10. And Paul received a second vision. And do not be afraid. Don't be fearful. Go on speaking, for I have many people in this city. And so you can see where I'm going with that, how it ties all that together. And that, man, I'm telling you, the Lord just speaks to me. Even as I'm speaking it right now, I feel it, it's just part of this crazy journey. And